Hello students, I am Rajiv Jha. This is fourth video in series of basic electrical engineering. Here this video belongs to those students who don't have knowledge on how to solve electrical network by using KVL method. Okay, so I started this topic with a very basic level and try to clear all concept along with you can say conventional method of KVL or Maxwell loop method. Here we discuss. We will also discuss the Cramel's rules for developing better understanding of solving any network. Okay, within a short time period. So at the last, we will say definitely you will like this video, and let's continue. Easy step to solve Kirchhoff voltage law, and here we will also discuss the introduction of Cramel's rule. Okay, here you see a questions. This question is you will have to find out the current value of current in each loop. That is the question asked in GATE 1995 from IIT Kanpur. Okay, so here we will see three loops. So first of all, the first step to solve the KVL is to find out the loop in the network. Okay, so first of all you will have to know what is loop. So loop is nothing when the current is circulating into the path, and the it makes the closed circuit actually. So into the network, when you find out the closed circuit, closed path, so that is called the loop. Here you see these are the full circuit, but because of this there is a lots of, you can say, closed path available in this network. Okay, so whatever the closed path available in that network is called the loop. So when you find out, here you find out there is a three loop actually. Okay, here you find out there is a three loop, loop number 1, loop number 2, loop number 3. So there is a three loop. So when you find out that we have a three number of loop, then we will also find out, definitely we will we will say that number of equation, we will have a number of equation, three number of equation we will have by using of KVL in each loop. Okay, so when we use the KVL in each loop, we will get the three number of equation here. Okay, the second one is to solve, to find out the, okay, first one, in first step you find out, okay, number of loop is this, that means we have a three equation because we have a three loop. Second one is, what is the direction of current in each loop? So honestly speaking, whatever the direction you can take is you can say right for that network. If you choose the wrong direction, then automatically the current, the value of current will get negative. Okay, will get negative actually, negative. So you don't worry about what direction you choose, either you choose the you can say clockwise or you choose the anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the your result actually. If you choose the wrong current direction, then only the negative result will get, or negative current will we will get. So in that mean, the direction what we assume will get, or you can say will get, or will you can say got wrong actually. So in that case, we will see here, here you see, so either we choose the clockwise direction, here we choose the anti-clockwise or clockwise direction, here you choose the clockwise direction, or okay, this is the way you can see, you don't worry about the whatever you choose the current direction actually. But here, if you want to you can say there is a lots of thing you will have to manage when you think that you should have if you put a you can say, if you put, or you, if you make your calculation easy, if you make your calculation easy, then you should have to choose your direction properly. Here you see, so that is my way, that I always choose the direction that is you can say uh, leave from the positive, and it comes from comes to the negative actually, just like a battery. So I choose that direction because of when we write down the KVL equation, that is easy for me to write down these KVL equation. Actually, it is easy for the for writing the KVL equation. When you choose this type of you can say current direction, then you will find out that your KVL equation get easier. Okay, will get easier. So here you see I have choose positive to negative, that mean clockwise. Here I choose positive to negative, that mean anti-clockwise. Here I choose positive to negative, that mean clockwise. Okay, so through this way we will choose the or choose the direction, actually current direction. But you either you choose this direction or you choose other direction, it doesn't matter for the at the end of the result actually, whatever the current. So but always choose because in the next slide you see how easy to write it down the equation. When you choose if the voltage source is available, then you choose positive to negative, always positive to negative. Okay, so next one is, so here we choose positive to negative I1, here I2, here I3. Okay, I1 is the current in loop 1, I2 is the current in loop 2, I3 is the current in loop 3. Okay, so what is the our next you can say step? Next step is start writing KVL equation for each loop. So now that is the important step actually. Now you are going to write. First step, you will find out the number of loops. Okay, then second step you will find out the what is the loop what is the current direction in the loop, in each loop. And the third one is to find out or to write down the equations by using of KVL. Okay, so here you see when you write down the equation, first of all, very important thing, if any current which is leaving from the positive and coming into the negative, leaving from the positive or coming towards the negative, then that voltage is always represented with negative. Okay, that is the important point. Again we repeat, when positive, any current which is leaving from the positive, here you see leaving from the positive, and if at negative or at negative it enter into the negative. Okay, enter into the negative or leaving from the positive, so in that case we will you can say we will consider that voltage negative. Okay, we will write down negative actually. Otherwise in any you can say resistance, whatever the direction of the current will always get the positive value. Okay, here you see you I think you will see when you when I give the equation. Here you see at first loop, starting from the loop number 1, then we will see minus 45 because it leaves the positive value. Okay, then second one is 10, then it goes to 10 ohm. Okay, here you see there is a 2 current because two loops are interconnected here. Okay, so here you see two loops are interconnected, so that means there is a 2 current flowing here, I1 and I2. In that case we will see if I1 and I2 both are in the same direction, that means we will do the I1 plus I2 here. Okay, in if both current I1 and I2 are in the same direction, that mean we will add up here. Okay, so here you see, so I go from the minus 45, then the current is flowing this 10, so 10 there is a 2 current is flowing, so that means I1 plus I2 plus, now the loop 1, just because of we are talking about the loop 1, so the current is flowing this and we will get 10. And here you see there is a 2 current actually, this current is called the I1 and here this current is called the I3. So here you see there is a current is opposing to each other, that means the current is not in the same direction. I1 shows this direction and I3 shows opposite direction. So in that case we always in that case we will see the we will you can just subtract to those current, but we always put I1, that means the load current, sorry, that loop current in which the calculation will is you can say calculation is done, or calculation is occur. In that case, okay, here we see I1, this one is the loop actually. So through in this loop the current is I1, so I1 should be positive, okay, and second one will be negative here. So that's why we will see, we will write it down, 10 I1 minus I3 equal to 0. Okay, remember, again we repeat this. When you see there is a direction, two direction are opposing to each other, that means this is the case of subtraction. Okay, so this is case of subtraction, that means we will get the I1 minus I3, or we have a option of I3 minus I1. We have only two option. I1 we subtract I1 minus I3, or I3 minus I1. So in this case, because of here you see I1 we take actually, we assume if I moving in this loop, that mean I1 current should be greater than, okay, that is the assumptions to write it down KVL actually. So here we see, here we have written 10 I1 minus I3, that means we assume I1 is greater than I3, because we do not know the value of I1, I2, I3. So do not, we do not say that we will do that is we will do I3 minus I1 or I1 minus I3. So first of all we will have to assume, if I am available, if I am writing down the equation of loop number 1, then I1 should be greater than I3. Okay, so in for loop number 1 equation we will write down like this. Okay, then we solve this. Now minus 45 plus 10 I1 plus 10 I2 plus 10 I1 minus 10 I3 equal to 0. Then minus 45 plus 20, and at the last we will get the answer 20 I1 plus 10 I2 minus 10 I3 equal to 45. This is the equation number 1 for loop 1 by using of KVL. Okay, then second one is this loop actually. So again, from positive it leaving, and negative it, in negative it is entering. Okay, so in this case also we will see here minus 120. Okay, we will so you can say give the negative value, minus 120 plus, now it goes to 10 ohm. So 10 ohm, here the both current are in the same direction. Okay, that means we will have to add 10 I2 plus I1. Okay, then plus, then it sees 15, or you can say the 5 ohm. So we take the 5 I2 plus I3, because both, here you see both current, this current and this current, both current are in the same line or same direction. So it is 5 I2 plus I3, and then it goes to this direction current. So it is 15 I2. Okay, here you see. So after solving this, you will get the second equation, 10 I1 plus 30 I2 plus 5 I3 equal to 120. Okay, so third equation is, the next one is for loop number 3. Okay, here you see this is the loop number 3 actually. Okay, for loop number 3 we will see again positive, from positive the current is leaving, and in negative the current is entering. So we can write it down like minus 20 plus 10. Okay, the next one is 10, this 10 I3 minus I1. Why I'm writing I3 minus I1? This one is I1 actually. So I write it down I3 minus I1, because we know here the direction of the current will get opposing to each other. Okay, so either subtracting of I1 minus I3 we can write it, or I3 minus I1. But I know, and I will in previous you can see number 1 we will already discussed that whatever loop we want to write it down KVL, in that loop whatever the current is, you can say we will have for the particular for that loop actually. So here the current is I3, so we always makes that current greater than to the subtracting current or to the other current. Okay, here you see in the previous case, you see there, if I talk about the loop number 1, then I1 minus I3 we have done. Okay, but in this case we did actually, or you can say we will write the equation like I3 minus I1, because we think, because we are doing the we are making the equation, KVL equation, if in loop number 3. So that's why we write it down I3 minus I1. Okay, here you see I3 minus I1 plus, then both are in the same direction, so do not worry, plus 5 I3 plus I2, then it comes to the this, so plus 5 I3. Okay, you have seen this, so this is the easy way you can write it down. So again we will say the equation is 10 I1 minus 10 I1 plus 5 I2 plus 20 I3 equal to 20. So this is all the three equation. We know there is a three loop, so there is a three equation available actually by using of KVL. Okay, now next is we will have to solve this equation because we want I1, I2, I3. So how can we will solve this? So there is a two method or two approach. First is conventional approach. That means, you know, there is a if you have a two equation like x plus y equal to 2 or 2x plus 3y equal to 3. So you can make this you can get the value of x and y because there is a two variable and there is a two equation. Okay, so we can two unknown and two equations, so we can get that unknown value. Okay, here also this is the called the conventional approach, so we will have to solve the equations. Okay, so first of all, this is the conventional approach, and second one is the Cramer's rule. Okay, so by using of Cramer's rule you can also solve the equation, and much easier way actually as compared to the conventional approach. We will see this. Okay, we will see this, and there you have option then which method is good or not. Okay, at the last you will select that, and definitely select the Cramer's rules. That is the best one and easier one also. So first we will go for the conventional approach. So write it down all these equations: 20 I1 plus 10 I2 minus 10 I3 equal to 45. Then second one is 10 I1 plus 30 I2 plus 5 I3 equal to 120. Then last one is minus 10 I1 plus 5 I2 plus 20 I3 equal to 20. Okay, now we will see, we will have to make two equations to solve and get the value of current I1, I2, I3. Okay, so these three equation, what we will do, we from equation 1, we will get the value of I3. Okay, from equation 1 we will get the value of I3 here. Then put this value on here, you see this is the value of I3. Okay, so put this value on equation number 2 and 3. When you put this value equation number 2 and 3, you will get a value of 20 I1 plus 35 I2 equal to 142.5. You simply put that I3 value by in equation 2 and 3. You will get a new equation 20 I1 plus 35 I2 equal to 142.5, and second one you will get 30 I1 plus 25 I2 equal to 110. Okay, from equation 2 and 3 you will get this equation actually. So the next one is, now you have a two equation 5 and 6. Now you can say by using of, this is the conventional approach, multiply by 30 in equation 5 and multiply by 20 in equation 6. After multiplying this, you can say I1 is cut down here. Okay, and I2 is, we will get the I2, that is 3.772 ampere. Okay, when you get the I2 here, you again put this value on equation number 6 in this equation. Then you will see 30 I1 plus 25 3.772 equal to 110. Here you see 30 I1 equal to 15.7, that means I1 equal to 0.523. Okay, so if you put these two equation into the previous I3 equation, what we will get in the initially actually, I3 equal to 2I1 plus I2 minus 4.5. Okay, so if into this, then we will see the value of I3 is 0.318. Okay, so through this way you will get the I2, I1, I2, I3. So here you see there is a lots of calculation you have done for getting the value of I1, I2, I3, and there is a lots of equation. First you will get the I3 value, then put this value in this like this actually. Okay, here you see, put this value here you see, and then solve this. So there is a lots of, you can say, calculation. So that's why this conventional approach is lengthy, but you can also solve this conventional through this conventional you can say the approach. And again there is also drawback of this conventional approach is, if if you assume that you do not need any I1 and I2, you only need of I3, then, or you can say in question only ask the I3 value. Okay, so in that case also you will have to calculate I1 and I2 in conventional approach. Okay, you do not you do not get the directly get the value of I3. Okay, so that's why this conventional approach will get lengthy for some time. Okay, or number of loop, if the number of loop will get increases or increase, you know. So we will try for the another, or you can say second approach, name the Cramer's rules. Okay, in Cramer's rules again we write down these equations: 20I1 plus 10I2 minus 10I3 equal to 4.5. Then second one is 10I1 plus 30I2 plus 5I3 equal to 120, and minus 10I1 plus 5I2 plus 20I3 equal to 20. So if we make this equation into a form of matrix, then how we can you can say we can draw this actually. So we know the Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. So in matrix we will also follow the Ohm's law here. So V, all the, you can say, 45, 120 and 20 here, you just you can say put here, or you say draw here and put this value in the matrix. 45, 120, 20, the same series. Okay, the same series, you will write it down the value of IR, because you know this is the all the voltage equation actually. So each element are voltage actually. Okay, so here you see 20 is the resistance, so, and this one is the current I1, I2, I3. So here you see 45, 20 I1 or this. Through this way we will get the equation of 20 I1 plus 10 I2 minus 10 I3 equal to 45. That means 45 equal to 20 I1 plus 10 I2 minus 10 I3 equal to 45. Okay, through this way 120 is again 120 equal to 10 I1, 30 I2 plus 5 I3. Again 20 minus 10 I1, 5 I2, 20 I3. Okay, so here you see this is the, you can say, resistance matrix, and this one is the current matrix, this one is the voltage matrix. So we will have to find out the current. So first of all we will have to you can say get this determinant value, get this matrix determinants value. Okay, so for first calculate the determinants of R, that means this one. Okay, this matrix. So there is a two method we can get the determinants of this matrix actually, by conventional method. Okay, and second one is the by short tricks. Okay, so in this page or in this slide you only we only discuss the conventional approach. So by conventional method you see 20, 10, minus 10, 10, 35 and minus 10, 5, 20. So when you go for the, you can say, when you go for the 20, so you write it down 20 here and draw your line like this. Whatever the you can say remaining, just make that vector that make that determinants or the same series 30 30 5 5 5 5 20 20. Okay, just same written as the same thing, same series, or same, you can say, same way, whatever the written or remaining is, write it down here. Okay, the second one is okay. Or remember one thing, when you you can say get the determinants value, in that case plus minus approach is given. That means if there is another 5 4 5 6 here written, then we will see here we will get the value of minus. Okay, so remember one thing, first is the positive, first column is the positive, second is the negative, and third one is the again positive. Okay, so here the first positive 20 and the remaining is 35 5 20. We write it down here and make it determinants. Okay, then second one is minus 10. So here you will talk about the minus 10 because it is in min, plus minus plus, we will write it down like this. Okay, minus 10. So you know, okay, so what is remaining actually? 10 5 minus 10 20. 10 5 minus 10 20, write it down like this, and to take this determinant. Okay, then third one is minus 10. So again we know plus minus plus. Okay, we do not we do not need to change the sign. So minus 10, write it down here, minus 10. Okay, then minus 10 and this. So what is remaining? This part is remaining. So take this determinants, 10 minus 10 35. So how can we take the determinants? So 30 multiplied by 20. So 20 brackets में 30 multiplied by 20 and minus 5 multiplied by 5. Then again minus 10, write it down here, the same value, and 10 multiplied by 20 and minus 10 multiplied by 5. So remember this minus actually. Okay, this is the important one. Minus 10, 10 cross 5 minus minus 10 cross 30. Okay, when you calculate from you can say left to right, then it is positive. When you calculate from left to right in downward side, then it is positive. That means this one is positive written as. And when you can say multiply left bottom to right upper, in that case it will get negative. Okay, remember this. So by calculating this 20 600 minus 25 minus 10 200 plus 50 minus 10 50 plus 300, we will get the value of 5500, value of this determinants. Okay, or determinants of R, or this matrix determinants actually. Here we see actually this is also a conventional method, but here we see 10 and minus 10. Due to this, we make we have a, you can say, by using of you can say the column method or row method, or you can say the reduction of determinants method, through which way we also reduce or easy this matrix. Actually we can make this matrix more easy. So in what way? Actually when we add up this C2 plus C3, and then we will get a new C2 new value. Here you see 10 plus minus 10, that means here you will get the 0 value, and here is the 35 25. Okay, so here you see the 0. Because of this 0, the whole equation, or you can say the whole equation, will get 0. So the calculation is more easy. Here 20, we only have 20 multiply by 35 into 20 and 25 into 5. Okay, minus. And second the calculation we have minus 10, 10 into 25 30, minus 10 into 35. So because of this we will get the value of again 5500. So in any method, in the conventional, there is a, you can say, wonderful method. If you reduce the you can say reduce this matrix, and then you can say then get or find out the determinants. Okay, so one possible thing when you see the number like -10 and same number like this, or so in that case you will have to make the above thing 0. Because of this, whole calculation will get 0. Okay, you know the matrix, whatever the form of matrix, if you don't understand, then again I write it down like A B C. Okay, D E F G H I. Okay, this is the matrix. So if we calculate this, then A multiply by this E F H I. So if the value is A will get 0, then whole calculation will get 0 actually. So it is important, if we by using of, you can say, determinants, by using of matrix reduction method, or by forming of 0 value in the above row of the matrix, then first row of the matrix, then we can say it makes more easy calculation. Okay, so that is important actually. So we will see here, we have done a lot of equation or calculation here, and here we will see only few calculation has been done, and the result will get same. Okay, the second short tricks method to find out the determinants of the matrix is like this, but this method is only applicable for the 3 cross 3 matrix actually. If you have a 3 cross 3 matrix, then this method is only applicable here. Here you see we have a matrix like this: 20, 10, minus 10, 10, 35, and minus 10, 5, 20. Okay, so this matrix, we what we do actually, here you see 20, 10, minus 10, 10, 35, minus 10, 5, 20. Again we write these two column again in the further actually. Again we write these two column. You see here 20, 10, minus 10, 20, 10, minus 10. Then again we write 10, 35, 10, 35. So we again write it down these two column. Okay, and then we you can say we cut three values, at least three values like this. Again three values, again three values, till the three values exist actually. Okay, so because of this, if you get the cut here, because of this, and the same approach is you can say uh, is done by when you lower to upper. Okay, three element or three value will get cut from this. So you can say from right hand, from left hand to right hand bottom, and from uh, left hand to right hand upper. Okay, so what we do actually, here we calculate, if we cut this, so you can say 20 cross 30 cross 20, we multiply this. Okay, and again we multiply this, and then add this 10 cross 5 cross 10. You will see here actually 20 cross 30 cross 20 plus 10 cross 5 cross minus 10 plus minus 10, 10, 5. Okay, so whatever the value you will get is 11,000. The second thing says, second you say, when you cut the three value of the determinants, then these this value is of the matrix value actually, then you will see 10, 10 minus 30 minus 10, 10 minus 30 minus 10, or you start from this if you want. 20, 10, 10, 20, 10, 10. Okay, 20, 10 cross 10 plus 5 cross 5 cross 20, 5 cross 5 cross 20 plus minus 10, 30 minus 10, minus 10, 30 minus 10. So through this way we will get the value of 5,500. And at the last, if we subtract 11,000, that means this value, all the multiplication of this value and add up all this value, when we, you can say, negative, when we subtract s1 into s2, then we will get the actual determinants value, that is 5,500, which we will see in the previous which we saw already in the previous slide. Okay, so here you see, write it down this equation again, because we want I1, I2, I3. So we know we will get the determinants of R, or you can say S here. So we will get the determinants. So how can we get the I1 value? So if you want to get the I1 value, so here this is the matrix, actually our matrix here. So if you get the value of I1, so you will first remove this first column by I1, I2, I3. Okay, sorry, by voltage 45, 120, 20. So you just replace this first column by voltage matrix, or value of voltage matrix. Okay, here you see, if you want to know the I1, then first column of this and is 20, 10 minus 10 will get replaced by 45, 120, 20, and then get the value of, get this matrix, or you can say get this matrix, or uh, determinants value. Okay, then you will find the determinants value of this matrix. Sorry. So 45, 120, 20, 10, 35 minus 10, 5, 20 divide by determinants of S, or you can say determinants of R, whatever you want to say. Okay, the value of 5500. Okay, again you see here, we will again write it down, 45, 120, 120, and 10, 30, 35. We again write it down like this, and we'll use the you can say short trick method here. 45, 30, 20. Okay, multiply this and add with the 10, 5, 20, and add with the, multiply this and add with the minus 10, 120, and 5. Multiply this and add, you will get the value of, and you will get the value here 22,000. Okay, then after the second one, again 3 value, 20, 30, 10 minus 10, 5 cross 45, and 20, 120, 10. Multiply this and add up this value, you will get the value of 19,125. Then you just subtract these values, you will get the 2,875. So when you put this value 2,875 divide by, you will get the value of 1500, 5500, then we will get the value of I1 equal to 0.522 ampere. You know your previous I1 value is same, that is 0.52 ampere. Okay, here you can also check the Cramer's rules. You here you will find the correct value. Okay, by using of Cramer's rules and by using of normal conventional method, both in through both these methods, we will get the same value, same current value. We will find actually. So the next one is how we find the I2. So if you by following the same procedure, you will get the value of I2 and I3. Okay, let me see this. If you want to get the I2 value, then you will have to replace the mid, or you can say mid column by a voltage column. Okay, or voltage matrix, value of volt in voltage matrix actually. So 20, 10 minus 10. Okay, you have seen here the mid value is 10, 35 actually, 10, 35. So it can be replaced by, or it is replaced by the 10, 30, 35. 10, 35 is, when you want to know the I2 value, then you will have to replace the second column 10, 35 by 45, 120, 20. Okay, here we will see here 20, 10 minus 10, 45, 120, 20, because we want to get the value of I2 actually. So minus 10, 5, 20. Then again write it down, 20, 10 minus 10, 45, 120, 20, minus 10, 5, 20. Again write it down, first column and second column, we will get this. Again we will do the short trick method and multiply these three variables and add up this, and multiply with these three variables and add up this. we will, and then subtract to each other. For 43,750 minus 23,000, we will get the 20,750, and by 20,750 divide by 55,500. So here you see we will get I2 by this volume of paper only, and or you can say I3 value by using of in a single page. Okay, in a single page you will get the value of I1 I2. You can get the value of I1 I2 I3 in a single page, but here I show you how difficult a conventional approach. Okay, so here from here we will you can say get this value and put this value, then we will get make these equations, and then this is the second page, and we will get the value. So in conventional approach you almost use the two page to get the value of I1 I2 I3, and in from the Cramer's rules, if the three loops are available, in that case only you can say only one, only 2 to 3 lines you will get the solution actually. Okay, you will get the I1 I2 I3 value. So through this way I here I discuss the Cramer's rules and KVL conventional solving method, and I hope I will try my best to give you a good understanding and good concept on how to solve the KVL equation by step method. Okay, thank you very much for being uh, with this video. Thank you. So that's it of this video. I hope you like this video. If you have any queries or questions, mail me on this email ID. I will definitely provide you a good solution. At the last, thank you for watching my